Welcome everyone. Today on the podcast we have with us Neel Chhabra Sir. Many of you might know Neel Chhabra Sir. You might have read his articles in SOIC about about various businesses and industries. Sir writes very fantastic articles with a very in depth knowledge in every blog he writes. Welcome on the podcast,
Thank you. And first of all, please don't call me sir.
sir.
I'm almost at your age only, a little older than you.
Yeah,
So thank you for having me. Like, it's my pleasure.
yeah. Thanks for coming on the Thanks for coming on the podcast. My first question to you is how did you get interested in stock markets and what is your academic education background like and what are you pursuing currently?
So,
And
like,
and
I
for most of people
stumbled.
who don't know, you are only 19 years old, right?
Yeah, I'm 20. I just turned 21 in July.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's great.
21.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, like, I stumbled on stock market to like find a purpose in my life, like to amount to something. So that's how I stumbled on stock market because since I was a kid, like when I was 7, I always had a purpose because since I was 7 or 6, I started pursuing cricket professionally. And I told that I want to pursue this professionally and play for the country and all that. But as I grow up, I realized that these are non-zero sum game, and the probability of me reaching that pinnacle is like very low. So though I was like
yeah,
pretty good at it, I was captain of my team, played nationals and all. But I think it was 2016 or 17. Like Virat Kohli was at his peak. So I was
yeah,
like if I can't dominate like him, if I don't have this self belief to dominate like him, I don't want to play at all. Like I just want to be any other player.
yeah,
So like after a lot of self introspection, so I decided to like stop pursuing cricket. So like after that, for 3 4 months, like I was very disturbed. So like
yeah,
there was suddenly a void in my life, like no purpose, nothing. Like I was very anxious about my future as well because since starting I was like I want to play cricket only. So like
yeah,
I never cared about my studies as well.
yeah,
I used to get good marks, but I didn't used to study at all because
yeah.
I used to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, go to
And go for
coaching,
practice. Yeah,
then go for practice, then attend school from 8:30, then
yeah,
come back home at 2, then go to coaching at 3 o'clock, have my lunch quickly and go to coaching again in afternoon,
wow,
then come back from coaching 8 o'clock, and that by that time I was so tired, so I just eat my dinner and sleep.
got it.
So it was good also because it inscribed discipline, focus in me a lot. So I like really owe it all, whatever I am with the character building, everything, I owe it to that sports period from 7 to 6 when I was 16, 17 when I dropped it. So that's how I started. So in those 3 months, so when I was feeling that void, so like I was really disturbed, I was feeling useless basically. So in
Yeah,
pursuit of finding a new purpose, I started looking online, like who are the other successful people, like who I can look up to now. Because when I
yeah,
used to play cricket, I had someone to look up to. So they were these great players, so like I used to look up to. So now I had nobody. So I was very
yeah,
anxious about my future and all that. So and I always had interest in business. So like when I think about cricket also, I thought whatever money I make out of this, I will start new business from that
wow,
money. So I've
wow.
always had interest in business. So I was like, if not cricket, then it has to be business.
Business. Yeah,
Yeah. So actually my phone is ringing. So like
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
just cut it there.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Where was I?
You were at the void, like you had no one to look up to when you just entered into
Yeah.
stock market.
Yeah. So when I decided that it's not cricket for me, so like
Yeah,
it has to be business because I didn't know what to do else.
yeah,
So so I looked up to Googled a lot, like one of the most who are the most successful business people of all time, who are the famous business people. Like I Googled them a lot and read their biographies, like how they achieved what they achieved.
hmm.
And only one person resonated with me, that was Warren Buffett. Because everyone else was like a techie or something. And all I know about computers is how to Google. I'm not very like I'm not like you are in so deeply into computer science and all. You're like just amazing given your age as well. You have built so many products as well. Like all I know what to do on computer is Google. So I do nothing. So I was like, I definitely can't be like Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg, nothing like that. So
Yeah,
only person resonated with me was Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
And once I got studying into him, and it was like a rabbit hole. So like more I digged into it, more resources I could gather. That resources I gathered up, I could get more and more resources because I just
Wow.
kept digging up.
Yeah.
So like, and anyway, the resources available on him is so much, and each book gives more references, more resources. So I just reading up all that, and
Wow.
within like 1 to 1.5 months, I was like, I want to do this because I started searching that as well. Because since I want to great at investing also, I searched for what attribute do you need to be a great investor. So because I didn't want to pursue anything which I'm not good at or I cannot be great at.
Yeah.
So when I studied like what are the attributes you need to be a great investor, I could actually very sense it like, yeah, this I can do this. Like this is me. So
Yeah.
that's when I decided if I want to do anything, it has to be this. So like then I convinced my father to like give me some money to invest in stock market because till then he didn't invest any money in stock market. It was like when he was in college years, his friend gave him fake certificates and all that of stocks. So he had a bad experience with that. And
Yeah.
another time when he tried investing, it was in Reliance Power IPO. So again a
Oh,
bad
damn.
experience. So
Oh, yeah, yeah.
so like he never cared much about stock market. So all his wealth in his gold, real estate, and he's a business owner. So most of the profits were reinvested back in the business. So
Business.
like he never cared about stock market. But he was pretty easy to convince because he's a business person. I could explain him that stock piece of business, how compounding works. And he was very pretty good about it. Chakravarti vyaj to hai, compounding mujhe kya bata raha, matlab, he was like that. Like he understood compounding well. So like that's how it got started. I think it was 2018,
Yeah.
17, 18
Yeah.
when I started investing from my father's account. When I turned 18, turned 18, I opened DMAT in my account with a
Yeah.
like small capital from my father, and then I started teaching tuitions. Right after I was giving my 12th exams. Then COVID happened, and
Yeah.
my last exam wasn't able to happen. So like I
Oh.
didn't even completed my 12th, so I started teaching tuitions. So whatever money I got from that and a little money of father started investing in stock market. So that's
What
how I
all
got
tuitions
into
did you
it.
take, so on which subject?
BST and Eco.
Oh, okay, okay. Like
So
the
so I
11, 12
had
subjects only.
so yeah, I took commerce with maths in my 11th standard.
Yeah.
Right now I'm studying philosophy and Eco from Delhi University.
Wow. Fantastic. Fantastic.
I'm in third year right now.
Wow. Fantastic. What inspired you to take pursue psychology and economics, like the own
Actually,
business? Yeah, yeah,
philosophy,
philosophy.
actually,
Okay.
not psychology. I can't watch philosophy.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
like
Got
it
it.
was Bill Miller. If you're aware of Bill Miller, like he's a writer. So like I was listening to him, and one of his podcasts, he said that whatever investor I am today is because he studied philosophy when he was in college. So like he too studied philosophy in college.
Got it.
So
Got it.
he talked about like philosophy teaches you critical thinking and all that, and investing
Yeah.
requires you for critical thinking.
Got it.
So that's how I got interested in philosophy. But I'm studying in Delhi University. They like whatever little philosophy I know is by studying books. I haven't learned anything from studying in university.
Got it. Got it.
Uh,
What happened after that? Like you mentioned about taking tuitions and earning money through it and then investing it back into stock markets.
so like I wasn't trading, so I was investing only long term only. So like I didn't
Yeah.
have that. Okay, I want to just turn this profit into like multiples of 5x,
Yeah.
10x in short period of time. So I was
Yeah.
within the short capital. Also, I was investing for long term.
Yeah.
So then I had like my father had done some when I was born, he had done some LIC policies and all. So when I turned 18, 20 and multiples of ages, I used to get from LIC directly into my account money as well.
Yeah.
Small money. So I used to invest that
Wow.
also from that
Wow.
policy also.
Got it.
That's how I got started. And then I convinced my sister also to invest in stock markets. Then I convinced his fiance also to invest in stock markets. So now I'm managing all of their money. And I've recently opened my mother's DMAT account also.
Yeah.
Like she is also investing in stock markets. So like, yeah.
Wow. Fantastic. Fantastic. How was your research process back then, and how it has changed right now? Like in 2018 and 2019, 2017, when you were just getting started, how did you go up to researching particular stocks and investing in them, and how it has changed right now?
So like when I got started, I basically was investing on trends. Like Like India
Oh,
में infrastructure तो बनेगा ही बनेगा. So
हाँ
like what are the top infrastructure companies in India? I bought L&T, KEC,
हाँ.
NCC because Rakesh also invested in NCC, Delhi
Yeah,
Buildcon, and he had a criminal case on Delhi Buildcon. So I just took a sector, looked for top companies in those, and started
yeah.
investing. I had for first 6 months, I had like 50 shares. In that small
Oh,
capital also, I had
wow.
50 shares because I was very small amount and like 5 share, 10 share, bus. But लेकिन हर company में I had 50 shares overall
Oh,
in portfolio. So I was investing like that. I would buying baskets like infrastructure basket. It was worth like they were chemicals also wasn't fancy at that time. So
yeah.
I bought into like chemical baskets as well. Then financials, obviously, I know because when I was starting, I didn't want to take a lot of risk because I know that I don't know much about now. So my
Hmm.
first point is just to experience it until the
Hmm.
time I like know how to read an annual report, financial statements, and all that. I
Yeah.
don't want to take risks. So only the names I am aware of, like Reliance Industries,
Huh.
HDFC Bank, Kotak Bank, like these are the names you see every day, like Asian Paints. You experience it, and these were the name. I didn't do any valuation at all, and nothing. Just I like these names. I invested in it. So
Yeah.
that was the first 6 months, and the churn was a lot because every day I was learning something new, and I was trying to implement it in my portfolio. But after 6 7 months, like after reading a lot of books, like I got some philosophy, like how to approach investing. I taught
Yeah.
myself how to read financial statements and all that also. So then I trimmed down my portfolio to almost 15, 16 names. So like from
Wow.
15
Wow.
to 15, 16 names. So
15,
like I
16.
removed all the infrastructure companies I exited, and then I also exited public sector companies, all of that. So like I
Uh,
trimmed it down my portfolio to 15, 16, and one of the like in starting one of the Pat Dorsey and Masterclass with Super Investors. Like these two books give me a
yeah.
nice understanding like how to approach investing and all.
Hmm.
And after that,
Got it.
one of the most influential books has been like I got introduced to Austrian School of Economics. So like that has been
Mm-hmm.
very fundamental to me, like how I approach investing. So the
Wow.
way I think about investing is pretty much influenced by Austrian School of Economics. So like what
Wow.
they say is like a lot just like economics, you cannot postulate a posteriori. So you don't have the facts always available. So you have to look at human actions. So it was Ludwig von Mises who propagated the idea of human action. So basically what it means like human pursues actions, purposeful action to achieve their ends.
Yeah.
So like so if you look at neoclassical economics, they are very formulaic. Like
Yeah.
GDP is private expenditure, government expenditure, export by import. So they are formulaic. But Austrian School of Economics very theoretical. So there is no maths formula, nothing at all if you study them. And that resonated with me very well. So so if you look at the now what I look in companies is durability. And what
Hmm.
I look about is roundabout investing. So what are the companies that are sacrificing now to gain a greater advantage later?
Got it.
So rather than going just taking a shortcut and taking like quick profits, instant profits, I want companies to take loss now to gain a
Yeah.
greater strategic advantage later.
Profit later.
Like
Got it.
roundabout investing.
Yeah.
So even if you like study military strategies or something military, how they approach military strategies, and business is war. Like I think Sridhar Vembu of Zoho said it, like business is war, and anybody's telling you anything against that is lying to you.
Yeah.
Fighting for your customers, fighting for your employees, like business is war. So a lot of businesses, you want to study business, you should study military strategy as well.
Yeah.
So like I read Sun Tzu and Clausewitz, German military strategies and all that. So and they will also talking about like there's this idea of marching forward by moving backwards or rolling
Hmm.
your sleeves without showing your arms. So
Got
like
it.
these like it was instant spark plug in my mind, like how to approach business, how to see businesses. So like for one factor that is important to me is durability. Like
Hmm.
growth and all, obviously that's important because but I want durable growth.
Fantastic.
And
Fantastic.
yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. And my next question to you, sir, how did you ended up in SOIC? Ended up in writing blogs about businesses in SOIC. Like, how did you get in touch with Ishmael, sir?
Yeah, so like I started writing my blog, a personal blog, I think it was during COVID. It was 2020 something. Like it was 2020, I guess. My
Yeah.
first post was there. I
Yeah.
started writing because like I knew that I don't have an Ivy League degree or anything like that. I'm not super smart, because only way I can showcase my skills is through writing. So like, or I don't have a
Yeah.
cachet of a top university or something. So that's how I got into
Hmm.
writing, and I shamelessly
Yeah.
plugged my article in one of his tweets. So like that. So then he reached out to me, and then we met. And so I think first blog I read for write for SOIC was on alcoholic beverages.
Uh-huh. Got it. Got it.
So like the first blog I wrote for them was that, and after few months, like
Intellect.
they put up no, after that they put up on their website that they're looking for a research analyst, or they are expanding their team. They're looking for someone. Like I DM'd
Yeah.
them that I would love to work for them, and then we met, and then I started working with them. Like I now write
Wow.
blogs and all that. So like
Wow.
I was very fascinated by the work they were also doing. So I wanted to work with them. Like Ishmoit is really like super smart. So like I thought it would be a great opportunity to learn from him. Yeah, that's how I started writing for them.
Fantastic. What is your process of writing like how does it like like when I myself write on my blog, it is like very difficult to put in all the data points that you yourself had that you yourself look when you analyze the particular business, right? Like when you first analyze the business, you have to look at this particular data point, then you have to articulate in a all the data point in a blog, right? That is very difficult task, right? And it will takes a lot of time, right? How is your process of writing?
Like I don't have any structured process, because
Uh-huh.
I also find it very tough to synthesize all of this information,
Correct.
because I don't have any original to say, because there's
Hmm.
nothing I will say that hasn't been said before. So like all
Hmm.
I'm doing is synthesizing.
Yeah,
So like for the
articulation.
first few weeks, like I'm totally blank. I'm just thinking in my mind how the blog will be structured out, and I'm not typing anything, because
Oh,
typing
wow.
takes barely like 4 to 5 days, and
Yeah,
a lot of time goes into like structuring how the blog will look like in my mind. So like
wow.
that's my approach, and I think the starting is the toughest part. But once you get a like how you introduce your blog, you just start getting the flow.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
getting the flow is very important for me, and
Hmm.
to getting that point of flow is the most toughest part. Like, but
Hmm.
once you get that flow, once you get that intro, once you get the starting, it
Hmm.
just moves so fluidly. And after that, even the more tougher part is like deleting what you have written. Like
Yeah,
if you have read my blogs, like they are very long,
yeah, lengthy.
and they are after like I have deleted a lot of parts. Then also they are very
Wow.
long. So like obviously you write so much, you like a little attached to your writing. Like यार मैंने
Yeah, yeah,
सब कुछ
yeah,
पढ़ा, इतना सारा लिखा,
yeah,
अब delete करना पड़ रहा है.
yeah,
So like that is one of the most important part also, because you don't want to trouble your reader, because like happening them with so much information. So like
yeah.
deleting part is also very important. A lot of time goes into that also, like what to delete,
Correct,
what is important, what is not. I'm still learning
correct.
that, because still my blogs are very lengthy. I wanted to be more brief.
Yeah,
Like I'm working on that, to like
yeah.
tell everything in a shortest amount of possible without dumbing it down.
Correct, correct. Because telling a lot of things in a very short amount of text is like it takes a lot of amount of thinking. Right, you have to think a lot, like what do I have to include in it, what do I have to delete in it. Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like I've read so much, so like I should give all the information to reader as well. Because
Correct, correct,
but it
correct.
is not, but it is not necessary to give him all the information. It just have
Hmm.
to be relevant, because everyone has limited time.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody's like
True.
big, and I'm not the only one writing blogs. There's so much valuable, like brilliant, insightful blogs that are available. So like if I have to compete with them, I have to be very concise and particular about what I write,
Right.
because I
Right.
want to value the reader's time as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Because a person is not only reading your blog, they are reading many people's blog
Yeah,
as well, right? Yeah. And most
and a
of the
lot of
people,
people get dejected, and a
yeah.
lot of people just looking at the length get dejected and just don't even start the blog.
Yeah, that has also happened. That also happens on many YouTube videos, like because SOIC videos are very lengthy, right? And they cover a lot of amount of information, right? Most of people looking at the video length might even skip that video, right?
But personally, any blog or video that is too short, I don't watch it at all.
Yeah,
Unless it is Morgan Housel, until
yeah,
it is Morgan Housel who writes short posts very brilliantly, I
yeah,
don't read like short blog posts or short
yeah.
videos at all. Because
Wow.
anything worth saying with insights or with nuance requires time.
Takes time.
You
Yeah.
can't, that takes time. Only Morgan Housel, I think, can write like one of the most insightful posts in the shortest words possible. So
Wow.
he's the only one writer I read short blogs of.
Wow. Fantastic. Fantastic. What are your yourself future plans look like? Like, what do you want to become when you just graduate out of college?
So like I every day like formulate very grand strategy and all, but then I like decide upon that I just have to show up every day.
Yeah.
Like Henry Singleton said, like I do or Henry Singleton of Feldine, like I don't have a grand strategy, and he was a chess player by the way, and he said I
Yeah.
just have to stay the boat every day. I just come
Yeah.
to work every day because the world is so dynamic. You have to stay adaptive. So
Hmm.
obviously you have some long-term plans and all that, but you have to stay nimble, adaptive, agile. So like I just believe that just show up every day, be reliable, and that's all.
Fantastic.
Like
Fantastic.
I just want to be opportunistic. I just want to keep my eyes here open and be ready to like whenever I see an opportunity, I should be prepared for it. So it's exactly that idea that I was talking about, roundabout investing. So businesses
Hmm.
that are investing roundabout. So right now I'm like just preparing myself, like accumulating assets, accumulating knowledge, accumulating relationships and all that, so
Yeah.
that I can have greater strategic advantage
Returns
later.
at the end. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Fantastic.
So like
Fantastic. Learn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
moving
Yeah.
slow now to make a haste.
Hmm.
Like I'm moving slow right now so that I can grow faster later. Like
Yeah.
I right now, so like just a tree grows, right? Because at first it grows very slowly. It is accumulating assets, like having a strong trunk, roots, like having its roots very solid. Then after that, it grows really fast. So like that's how I approach businesses. That's how I approach investing. That's how I approach my life as well.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Like, I really learned a lot in this half an hour podcast. Like the roundabout investing strategy, right? Like this is the core philosophy of your life as well as investing as well, right? Roundabout investing.
Yeah, and another book that was really influential to me was non-zeroness. Like I
Hmm.
came about this concept of non-zero sumness.
Hmm.
So like, I'm forgetting the exact name of the book.
Yeah. Yeah. No
Like
issues.
I
No issues.
the non-zero sumness. And if you look at like how human civilization progresses, so like
Yeah.
it is through win-win relationships. I
Yeah.
think humans will not be the most dominant species if we didn't have the ability to cooperate and form win-win relationships.
Correct.
And I'm looking for businesses also that are forming win-win relationships with suppliers, with customers, with their employees, and all
Hmm.
that.
Wow.
And if you look at, I think if you look at Murugappa Group, I think
Murugan.
in the starting philosophy only they took this verse from Arthashastra that whenever you come into a transaction, no party should be left disadvantaged. Like there should be
Wow.
a win-win relationship, and they've been true to that philosophy to date. And even now, if you look at Tube Investments or Carborundum Universal, the way they
Yeah.
talk about win-win relationships, about their customers, about their suppliers, about their employees, about innovation, about adaptability, about durability, about being resilient. So I think they
Yeah.
are true to their principles.
Yeah.
And another counterintuitive that I see around me is that the idea of core competence. Like a
Hmm.
lot of people get say like you should stay in your core competence. That's true. But I think ultimately the business roles is to generate cash flow. So like it could be like a hospital is just a front to generate cash flow, or like a
Yeah.
refinery is just a front to generate cash flow. So like
Yeah.
for Reliance, their core competency is not refinery or telecom or say retail. Their core competency is to bring out resources in the form of capital, in human resources, like everything, bringing them together and forming win-win relationships. So that's
Correct.
their capability, and they find new growth engines, new S curves to ride on. So as the philosophy says, growth is life. So obviously, not everyone can do this. Sorry for that. So like I'm looking for these businesses that can find new S curves. So like Tube Investment is doing, that Reliance is doing. So you can find this idea of looking for new S curves. And
Wow.
ultimately, I think a lot of people focus on ends, like how they are achieving profit. But that is just an end. I think it is more important look at the means, like how they are achieving it. So ultimately, like when I start reading about a business, I have a lens in their mind that are they providing their customer absolute value, that the customer value their product or service at using least amount of resources. Sorry, I just have water. I have a bad throat.
Yeah, no issues, no issues. Okay. Fantastic, sir. Fantastic, Neil, sir. Thanks for coming on the podcast. Like I learned a lot things from this one.
Like, thank you for having me. Like, one day I want to interview you as well because you seem to be like the wonder kid. You're doing so many things. You are into investing. You are into civilization. I think you have shared like you were reading civilization history and all that. Also, you're into computer science. So like you're doing amazing things as well. So one day I want to interview you as well. And like you really humble me because at 15, and you're 15, right? And at
Yeah,
15,
yeah,
you're so
15.
smart. Like just seriously, you are literally a wonder kid. So like one day I
Thank you,
want to
thank you.
interview you as well.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Sure. Great.
Like